Hi everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name's Imogen, and in today's video I'm sharing how you can have the most productive morning. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. The first thing I'm going to say, you're not going to like it, but I'm going to say it anyway, you got to wake up early. If you want to have a productive morning, you need to have a morning, okay? So none of this getting out of bed at 11:30 stuff, because then you only have 30 minutes for a morning, okay? Maybe you could be productive in 30 minutes, but let's be real, you would be more productive if you were up at 7, okay? I often, I've woken up at 5 in the past. You don't have to be that extreme. You can, but, I will say getting up at 5 gives you a very long morning. Anyway, the point is, maximise the amount of time you have in your mornings. I'm not saying, don't do it to the extent of sleep deprivation, because you should be getting to bed on time, and you know, like I've said before, it starts the night before, so get to bed at a decent time so you can get up at a decent time. Bedtime is not just for kids, okay? But anyway, waking up early and also being consistent with that. Alright, I always keep a glass of water next to my bed because being hydrated in the morning is actually a really good way to wake your brain up, because if I wake up and I'm dehydrated, I just feel sleepy and sticky and just kind of gross, and all I want to do is just turn over and go back to sleep. So drink some water, and the slight temperature change will probably wake your brain up and be like, oh, okay, I can function now because I'm hydrated. Alright, the third thing I want you to do, and maybe this is just specific to me, but I don't think it is, because a lot of people around my age also struggle with this, deal with your anxiety. So a lot of the times people associate mornings with anxiety because you've got the day ahead of you, you've got a full to-do list, you've got to get up and go, it's not time to relax. You have to be on it, okay? You've got to wake up, get out of bed, and go to uni, go to work, you've got deadlines, okay? So you can't deal with that if you are experiencing anxiety. So I'm on meds. If you're on meds, take your meds, okay? Reminder, alright? You can also meditate. There's some pretty short meditations on Spotify, really easy, just search up 5-minute meditation or something. Take care of your mental health first and you will have a fantastic morning. Okay, number 4, clear your mind using a to-do list dump and or journaling. Okay, so think about everything you need to do, list it out, and then times you need to do it at as well, because if you don't have a deadline, you ain't gonna get it done, alright? And then journal about how all that work makes you feel. This is kind of linked to the mental health thing I just said earlier, but this can also help you prioritize and sort of clearly define your precise goals, because if you aren't actively working towards your overall stated goals, then you're wasting your time. And I don't care how productive you think you're being, if you're not actively working towards the goals that you want to achieve, there's no point, okay? So review what you need to do, basically, and make sure that you're just on track. It doesn't have to be that hard. Right, number 5, you're not going to like this one either. Scrolling is a death trap, okay? So silence notifications from the night before. I have basically all my notifications turned off. I hardly ever get a single notification because all of my apps are silenced. I'll check my messages when I check my messages, okay? So if you message me and I haven't got back to you, it's not because I don't love you. Alright. But turn non-essential notifications on your device off. And you can also rethink the definition of essential, because you probably don't need 38 Facebook notifications immediately you wake up, because it's going to put your brain into a stress state. So anyway, that will help you start the day with a focused mindset. Instead, because you don't want to nature hates a vacuum, or whatever the saying is, learn something, okay? So you could read a book for 15 minutes. I have a couple of books. I also have a load of books on an app. I'll put it in the description. But anyway, you could listen to a podcast if you're not in the mood to do reading. You could do some Duolingo or create something. It is the morning right now. I'm creating a video. Okay, eat something. If you are something I've often encountered, I'll wake up and I'll feel a bit I'll feel gross and I feel sick, and I realise that's because I haven't eaten breakfast yet. So always make it a point to eat breakfast, or you're going to feel a bit gross throughout the day and not necessarily have enough energy. It's super boring, okay? All of this taking care of yourself stuff is super boring, but it does make you feel better, I promise, I promise. Alright, move at least a little bit. So you don't have to run a 10k. Some people do. Cool, good for you. That will not be me. But yoga will work as well, okay? So just move a little bit. You just get up and stretch, okay? Because if you're just lying in bed all night, you're moving a little bit, sure, but you're going to probably be a little bit cramped when you wake up, or just feel the need to stretch. So do that, okay? Also, train yourself. So consistency is key. A morning routine is called a routine because you do it routinely, okay? So you have to stick to it, and obviously this is the hard part. Anyone can do a routine one time. It's not a routine, right? But you get used to it, then you'll have a massive advantage. Now for some more unusual tips. So the first one I have, take a cold shower. Now, when I was a teenager, I had a period of time when I almost exclusively took cold showers because I liked the mental toughness it gave me. And hear me out before you come after me in the comments being like, you're a psychopath. You can do this in, like, you don't have to go full cold shower. Like, you could do a thing called a contrast shower. You can start warm and then like do a burst of cold at the end, or you can like alternate between the two. So there's other ways to incorporate a sort of a cold shower into your routine. But I actually found it really improved my mental alertness, so I do recommend it, but you don't have to do it. Number 2, scent association. If you associate like a specific scent, so like an essential oil or like some kind of diffuser, perfume or scented candle with productivity, then always light it when you're going to be productive and your brain's going to be like, ah, work time. Okay? Wear a productivity uniform. It doesn't have to be a uniform, but it does have to be something that you feel kind of dressed up in. So actually this shirt is a good example. Like, I've worn this shirt to work, but also it's really comfy. Like, I'm comfy right now. So find a nice sort of like halfway house that like clothes you're comfy in, but you can also work in. Don't go sort of, I mean, there is a place and a time and a place for goblin mode, but when you're trying to be productive, goblin mode is maybe not the best idea. Take it from someone who has multiple mental health conditions and regularly goes goblin mode. I promise, like, having a shower and putting on a nice shirt will improve your mental state. Okay, create a morning playlist. I am all in favour of music for mental health and productivity. Create a morning playlist, okay? And it'll sort of like get you ready for the day, it'll get you in a good mood. Yeah, your favourite artists are there to be listened to, okay? Alright, 2 more tips, but these are probably the most important tips in the whole video. Firstly, bear in mind that not every morning can or should be productive, okay? Sometimes you want to have a slow morning, sometimes you want to just rest, sometimes you will feel sick, okay? You don't have to be productive 100% of the time. Do not take that from this video, because if you do, then I have failed, okay? So it's okay. Rest is also productive, and you do not want to burn out. Having said that, my final tip is that all of these other tips will be useless unless you generally have self-discipline. If you actually want to have a productive morning, then you will, okay? Get up, okay? It sucks, right? Embrace how much it sucks. Embrace the suck. Let's go, okay? Get out of your comfort zone. If you're not being consistent, then probably you don't want it enough, because it's not a priority, okay? The times I have, like, there's not been nothing wrong with me. Like, I've not been tired, I've not been sick, my mental health has been relatively stable, and I just haven't got out of bed. It's because sleeping more was a higher priority. And even though I'd had like 8 hours of sleep, so I wasn't like sleep deprived, I was just like, cozy, you know? So yeah, I was prioritizing that over actually doing stuff. So beware of that a little bit, is all I'm saying. But generally, if you're like being productive and you're putting in effort the majority of the time, you are doing great. Alright, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and of course subscribe. I'll see you in the next video, okay?